Happy Friday. I just want to tell you something. I'm super excited today. So I wanted to say, everyone, hope you guys are well, and welcome to Ruby Uncensored. Welcome to the late night show. I'm so excited, but here's the thing, guys. If it's your first time to pass through this channel, I'm asking you to subscribe and make sure that you ring the bell. But to my regulars, my bodies, like the family that I love, thank you so much for sticking around and just come. Let's have a chat. Yeah, it's gonna be a funny one. I'm so excited. Trust me, I'm super excited. By the way, today I came bare, so I don't have no makeup on. Trust me, no makeup on. And in my majesty and my own hair, my real hair. So this is my fabulous hair that the Lord has blessed me with. Okay, so there've been people really, because I care for you, and I respect my my family and the people that I'm spending time with, that some of them will tell me, no, you don't have to put makeup. Some will say, oh my God, your own hair is okay, you don't have to do this. So I came with my own natural hair today, and no makeup at all. My face is bare, trust me, no makeup. Just take a look. It's good to see everybody. So there's no makeup here. Okay, but it's a beautiful evening. Guys, when I got hold of this information this morning, I was like, if we can talk about this as Zimbabweans, if we talk about this, then we know that our issues are resolved, are solved. I've heard about, something that may either be working behind in the scenery, dealing with the Zimbabwean issue. And, but now that I had to read this clip from Miss Mutambara, he tweeted something so strong, but it's actually from his book that he wrote, In Search of Elusive Zimbabwean Dream. I just want to say to Miss Mutambara, thank you very much for keep on, educating us and keep on exposing a number of things that we don't even know exist. And here we are today, we're going to be talking about this. Guys, welcome to Ruby Uncensored. And if you just join us, trust me, I'm asking you guys to like the live. Let's push algorithm. And also comment. I need to hear your own views, because this is quite an interesting topic that we are going to be dealing with today. Man, that Zimbabwe has been ruled, that's alleging by Mutambara, by a spirit medium, a bogus. He calls the spirit a bogus spiritual medium. That makes it very interesting to actually hear, and I'm so excited, y'all. I am super excited that we have to dig in and talk about this issue. And by the way, we also have an issue of Triple C. Okay, my party. And I'm going to tell you what I think about what's happening now with ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF behaves like those toxic people who always crave for attention. And I actually got to a point where I was saying, I think it's time for us Zimbabweans to never give them attention. Because if we do so, let me just tell you the interesting part. If we don't give them attention, they're just going to end up fighting among themselves because they're sick. They're sick. Like what Dr. Walter Muzambi said. He also mentioned, he said, ZANU-PF is those people that are sick for attention. They have no direction, and they want to rob everyone else into mess, but we won't let it happen. We won't allow them. We know who we are, and we know what we deserve, and we know what we desire, and we know what we are capable of. So we won't allow them to drag us into mess or to mud. Okay, so let's have a look what's going on here. What's trending, of course. And I can tell you, when it's Friday, there are people that have the tendency, these people, the rich kids problem, they love to drag race, and which is crazy. All right, so let's have a look and see who is trending, what's going on. Good to see everybody, good to see you guys. Good to see you. Some people, they said I must be serious. I don't know what they want me to do. I can't be serious like the way you guys expect me to be. I can't, like, to be this serious. I can still express myself, and at the same time knowing that I'm dealing with. But if I come here too serious, you're also going to say, please don't be too serious. I don't know where to belong. I'm in the middle. All right, so good. So quick one. I can see that Nelson Chamisa is trending. Of course, I know why it's trending. There's no, I know why it's trending. People are poking him. They want him to speak, but the brother is quiet. He's not saying nothing. What do you want him to say? Why would you follow the crazy people who are just being crazy? Why does Nelson Chamisa has to follow crazy people? He's not saying anything. He's just minding his own business. Focus on the goal. The most important part is let's keep our focus on the ball. You know what I mean? Let's keep our focus on the ball. Very, very crucial and very important. I just want to remind you guys that demonstrations to the Union building, the one that is coming up in South Africa, coming up on Tuesday, actually. On Tuesday, because they did not approve it over the weekend due to the fact that there won't be police officials who can actually be able to protect our people. So they have approved it for Tuesday. Guys, I've said if you're in South Africa, please come in your numbers. Let's work together. Let's make our voice heard. Let's amplify the voices. Let us do this together, guys. It's so, so crucial. I'm also going to share the link in the description box of one of the leader that was Trust in Love, who literally was on a newsroom today talking about the very same demonstrations that are coming up here in Pretoria, actually, not Johannesburg, it's Pretoria. I'm also going to drop the flyer, dropping the flyer in the comments, in the community section, please, so that you guys can go in there and just take a look and you can get more details there. If you're in South Africa, please come in your numbers. Let's do this. We can't outsource revolution. We are the people. We are the Zimbabweans. We can play the part. I've told you that I'm going to be live there. I'm going to be live. So please come through. Let's make Zimbabwe great again. Zimbabwe is our nation, and together we can. Together, you and me, we can. So we have some craziness from ZANU-PF. They can't wait to keep on coming after our people. But this is what I've been saying to my family. I said, I know ZANU-PF, people who are doing nothing. They have nothing to do. The only thing they're focusing on is just terrorizing citizens. Like every morning, they think about what can we do to hurt Zimbabweans. And I remember Trevor Ngube said the same thing. That is like every morning when ZANU-PF woke up in the morning, they're like sitting down and said, how can we hurt the Zimbabwean people? That's exactly what I think they do. So how do we play with people like that? We need to start pulling our energy from them. Our energies are important because the more I channel my energy to you, the more I ignite fire. So ZANU-PF love the attention, love to terrorize people. So I think it's about time for us Zimbabweans to say, we're going to pull our energy away from this nonsense and just do what we can and try to channel our energy in the right place. That's just my advice. Where they are trying to do their drama, we pull our energy. We say, no, we don't deserve this nonsense. We don't belong. Let them do their crap that they're doing. We don't give them no attention that they desire. We don't give them no our time. We just leave them the way they are, going crazy as they are, and we keep moving. Because at the end of the day, time is not on our side. Life is happening right now as we speak. Our days are numbered in this world. Before you know it, we are going to be leaving and go back to heaven to be with the Father. So what's the point? They've wasted our life because we keep channeling energy to them. But I suggest we're not pulling our energy and say it is enough. We don't think we deserve this kind of nonsense. So Citizen Coalition for Change dropped a statement this evening after the declaration of the upcoming, I don't call it an election. Everything that's going on in Zimbabwe is simply ZANU-PF doing what they want or what they think is good for their power-hungry, fulfillment. These people are just after the power. They don't care whether you're happy. They don't care whether you like it. They don't care. That's why I've been saying to people, is it not okay for us to just pull away our energy and just leave them? Because let me tell you, if we do that, within a short space of time, they're going to fight among themselves because now they don't know who to attack. Now they don't know who to pull into their mess. They'll start fighting among themselves. You know what I mean? That's how we need to deal with this. This is just my advice. I don't find any reason why every time we have to be dragged, there's an election, we think it's going up and down, back and forth, left, right, and center, and we come back again. Or they'll say, oh no, now it's about, now they'll get a ghost person, Songezo. Man, he's getting all the spotlight. They're doing the shenanigans. I think it's about time. It is definitely about time for us to do what we know is right and pull our energy from this mess and keep on focusing on things that really matter. That's just my advice on that one. I think that's just my advice, really. So let's have a look and see the letter that has been sent by Citizen Coalition for Change this evening, really regarding the declaration of the by-election by Mr. Mnangagwa. So, you know, Promise Mkwananzi said, how does one make a proclamation on a matter that is still before the courts unless they know the outcome of the courts beforehand? I hope the courts are not in complicity with this constitutional ravage. And like I've always said, I'm stuck to my guns. Everything that's going down in Zimbabwe now, I don't think it's Mr. Mnangagwa was doing it. It's said in a way, but there are people, individuals in Zimbabwe who are using him to do their dirty work, unfortunately, and we think it's him. I know some people may say, but he has the upper hand, he's the leader. I get that. But don't forget that the age, he's getting younger. He's getting younger. Okay? It's easy. My daddy is around, it's almost 70, you know, and there are things that he doesn't do. And he actually, because he doesn't understand, he's like, okay, my child, I think you understand better. You can do that for me. You know what I mean? And I do it for him. But this is what I'm saying. Now we are talking about someone who's in the 80-something years old, and we think he can actually be understanding almost every little thing in the country. Definitely not. It's worse in a country like Zimbabwe where the systems are collapsing. Talk about how, you know, some of the deals that they are signing. We have had quite a number because there are people that are benefiting and they always push the deal. For example, we talk about the air ambulances that were bought. You know, the question everyone was asking, did this pass through parliament? No. Why? Because there are people who are pushing their own personal agenda. But yeah, I'm going to tell you, brothers and sisters, we are coming after you in the Light Time Forum. We are coming after you because there is no way we are going to go down because of you. There are people that circulate the president who are busy terrorizing citizens, and we need to really put a stop to this nonsense. We need to put a stop to this nonsense. Seriously. It's not okay. The way people are suffering is unnecessary. There is really no need. There's no need. People have had enough. Zimbabwe deserves some respect. They deserve some peace. They deserve to be treated like human beings. Because as it stands right now, people are not living like they're human beings. It's you do what we want or nothing. Right. So Citizen Coalition for Change wrote a letter today, this evening actually, so regarding the declaration of the nomination court as well as the by-election voting day. So they say Zimbabwe faces unprecedented constitutional and political crisis. So this is actually the headline. It has come to our attention that Mr. Mnangagwa has issued a proclamation to announce a date for by-election to replace our party member who were elected by the citizens, even under a rigged and fraudulent electoral environment. This proclamation is in response to an illegal recall initiated by a ZANU-PF imposter named Sengezo Shabangu, who falsely claims to be the interim Secretary General of our party, led by President Nelson Chamisa. The illegal proclamation is a clear indication of Mr. Mnangagwa's involvement in the illegal recalls of our election members. Mnangagwa's intention is to decimate the authentic opposition in Zimbabwe following his defeat by President Nelson Chamisa in the recent concluded rigged and fraudulent elections. This precedent was set by the Speaker of Parliament, Advocate Jacob Mudenda, who reduced his administrative duties to a mere conveyor belt, in contrast to the requirement of the Administrative Justice Act, read together with Section 129K of the Constitution of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is now facing an unprecedented constitutional and political crisis. This has proved the most glaring manifestation of state institutions captured by Mr. Mnangagwa. As a matter of fact, the CCC, led by President Chamisa, has not recalled any party member. Additionally, the CCC does not have any interim Secretary General position. Furthermore, Sengezo Shabangu, the imposter, is not a registered CCC member, as he is absent from our official registers. Lastly, we have reported this imposter to Milton Police Station with reference number SSS 1290. Therefore, we reiterate that the recalls are illegal and a by-election date cannot be determined for a matter that is currently before the courts. The matter will explore all available solutions to protect the nation from the unnecessary anguish of going through another election immediately after a contentious one. We will continue to provide updates to the nation regarding the measures that the movement is undertaking to safeguard it from further contention. CCC Communications Department, one people, one nation, one vision. And then the letter was out. Nobody signed it, but it's just CCC Communication Departments. Now, let's go back and talk about Mr. Songezo Shabangu. I say to my family, I can tell you, these are the people that will commit suicide. You know, some of the actions people don't really think before they act. You are facing a number of old people in the rural area who took their time, who believed in the movement. You know, every city. You are facing Zimbabweans who traveled, some of them, like from Europe to Zimbabwe, kilometers going to cast their vote. People were moving from city to cities, town to town, talking about how incredible this movement was and the kind of Zimbabwe that we all desire or deserve. And there you come as an individual from Norway and you think you can sabotage such kind of a movement. You can snatch the hope from people who believe that they can have a better life. And you think you're going to have peace in your life? And you think that you're going to get the money and just eat and live a better life? You know, if there ever been a country where there's no fear of the Lord, is Zimbabwe. Is Zimbabwe. If there ever been a country where people do not fear God, is in Zimbabwe. The way they act like they're in control, like I'm terrified because I'm like, do you know that we can wake up in the morning when God wipes the entire nation? Do you think if you can't learn between Israel and Palestine, and I keep on saying this because you know what God does? Yahweh is stubborn. God has got a sense of humor. He's a father. He is very passionate with nonsense. You let you do your crap, and why he's not acting like he can't watch, he's not watching. You let you stretch as much as you can stretch. But let me just warn you, he's gonna come for you. You come for you. And when I see people messing up people's lives, I'm like, do you even know that people have got their God who can hear their prayers? Do you know, as we speak, there are people that are fasting and praying. And someone is thinking that by just getting that small little title or getting a little bit of power there, you think you can bully everyone the way that you feel? No, the time for the devil is gone, hey? The time for the devil is gone. People are coming after you. You should be, if I was Sengenso and my people, whoever you're working with, I should be terrified. I do not care if it can be an internal fight between between the members within the parameters of Citizen Coalition for Change. Like what Hope Washington was alleging. I just want to read his tweet quickly. He alleged it today and he said, and actually I replied him. Really, I did heavily. I replied him. So Hope Washington said, he said, I think we have a duty to tell our followers the truth, Tawana. I think there was a guy called Tawana who had tweeted, sent a message that whether ED wasn't cited on the recall petition in immaterial or is immaterial or mere academic. Question, because this is ED's route to branch authoritarian reconstruction for third term. All CCC who is not to be recalled are those who will be sworn allegiance to Shabangu / ED. They will attend ED sonas. Right? And then, what Pochimono said, I think we have a duty to tell our followers the truth, Tawana. These recalls have not been initiated by ZANU-PF. So that's Hopochimono, which I'm going to pass my comments on that. Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF are only taking advantage of the CCC chaos. Shabangu has handlers inside CCC who are disgruntled as they say, have said on numerous occasions, both directly or indirectly, they say they are disgruntled with how their party has been personalized by Nelson Chamisa. We shouldn't be lazy to ascribe everything to ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF is only making it easier for the CCC faction because ZANU-PF controls the state. ZANU-PF is predatory. It is taking advantage of the fights in CCC because a divided CCC is manna from heaven for ZANU-PF. Chamisa knows what is happening. Okay, guys, do you you think what Hopo is correct, that there are factions or there are fights between the parameters of Citizen Coalition for Change, which ZANU-PF has taken advantage of and then just cause a mess? Because I'm going to have to come and say something. Because I went after, he did not respond to me. Hopo Shingona didn't say anything. But I said to him, whether there's a faction or no faction in Citizen Coalition for Change, I care less. You know what I care about? Are the poor who spend their time, are people who invested their last dollar, hoping that there's going to be change in a better Zimbabwe. Are the people who moved from city to city, trying to have a better life, preaching about the word of change. Is those mamas and daddies who are dancing with so much excitement. That breaks my heart when there's young guys who have got professions, lawyers and attorneys, because as far as I know, Citizen Coalition for Change is being led by attorneys. Let's assume what he's alleging is true. The people that are in Citizen Coalition for Change are professionals who have got jobs, are people who are educated, who have decided to undermine the lives of so many people who are suffering in Zimbabwe, who had hope, who believed in the word of change because of their own personal greedy and vendetta. So now I'm going to ask you a question. Are you there to save the people, or you are there for your own personal mandate or your personal vendetta? Because if I am there to save the people, and I know that someone is in to save, I'm going to say, you know, fair play. You can save if you want to, and I'm going to be okay with my position. Now, this is what I'm going to say. The problem in Zimbabwe is people think politics is a job. It's not a job. It's a place to serve. That's a poverty mentality. No wonder why our country will never move forward. Each and every one of us came to this world with a gift and a talent. That whether they're going to be politics or not, you are called for a purpose. And your purpose is not bound within the parameters of the corridors of power. Your purpose, whether there is power or not, you still have to pursue it. This is where the problem is. The lack of understanding and ignorance is one of the challenges that we are facing with our people. Is they're obsessed with things that are not even important. Hey, whether there's going to be politics or not, I have a purpose. You see what I'm talking right now? This is my gift. I went to school today. I did accounts. I also did a bit of audit and actually drop out. Because I got excited about the money, the salary. When I used to, you can get a good salary. I'm like, oh, damn, I'm in, you know. I just wanted to have a fancy title. But man, I knew that it was the most boring thing for me to do. And I was like, no, I'm going to pursue my purpose. I love to teach. I love to talk. Let me pursue my purpose. Let me do things that makes me happy. I love flexibility. What can I do to be flexible? The problem is now we're going to have to go in. If that is the case, then I'm going to come after each and every person who is a Citizen Coalition for Change, who is in any form of leadership or in form of portfolio. I'm going to come after you. Then you have no idea what life is about. Because I can't begin to fathom what I'm hearing. You know, whether he's telling the truth, Hopper, or he's telling lies. The bottom line is people want Nelson Chamisa to be the leader. And even if Nelson Chamisa can wake up tomorrow and open a party called Hello, I'm going to go with Nelson Chamisa in that Hello thing. I'm going after him because of his... I have respect for him. Because in the midst of all this chaos, he's just calm. Those are my people. Those are my people who understand that this what's called calling, what's called purpose. That even if people can wawata, you know your position. You are so calm and steady because you know you're not the one that calls me. The one who called me who always going to make a way for me. So I don't care who's disgruntled in the space, because if there were do's and don'ts or requirements for you to be part of any portfolio, and you did not meet the requirements, what are you disgruntled for? What's your problem? Why are you disgruntled? Why aren't you be glad that at least other people are there to serve? What is it about you? Do you think you're better than other people? Do you think you are better than other people? That thinks that you need to get a better position. I'm not buying that nonsense. Some people are trying to divide triple C. Here's the thing that I'm going to say. I've realized, and men are not getting this. I remember one day I went to space on Twitter. And while people were there, they were busy bashing Chamisa and bashing. And I said to them, then they eventually gave me a mic, and I went there and I said to them, can I ask you a question? I said to them, can I be honest with you? You can all recognize that Chamisa has got a gift that you don't have. The reason why you're all bashing him is because you actually recognize that, or you're acknowledging that he has got a gift that you do not have. For that reason, instead of you learning one or two things from him, you're bashing him. It's the lack of, don't get intimidated when you're around people who are smarter than you. You actually need to learn from them. And some people are just anointed, and you can't do nothing to take it away. You can take away from them. Where they are trying to bring them down, because of the anointing that they carry, they're always going to succeed. Whether you believe or not, whether you like it or not, if God said Chamisa is going to be the president of Zimbabwe, there is nothing you or me or anyone or any politician is going to do to stop it. They can try to suffocate the situation. If God said he's going to be the president of Zimbabwe, he's going to be the president of Zimbabwe. You can't stop it. This is why he's quiet. He doesn't say anything, because he knows that if God called him and said to him, and he knows if God says he's going to be a president of Zimbabwe, yeah, I'm telling you facts. There's nothing that you and me or any politician or ED or mnangagwa or his buddies or billions, there is nothing they're going to do to stop it. It's called purpose. And that's what most people are not understanding. That purpose will speak, and purpose will take center stage. And then for those that think they can bring me down, you are simply just wasting your time. Oh, by the way, today I came here in honor of those who have been saying, we are putting makeup. There are people. I came in honor because, yeah, some of you are special. So today I decided to come here with no makeup at all. I swear, like you can see my face. I don't have no makeup, like 0, 0, 0. And by the way, there are also people who were saying to me, will you not just have your natural hair? Your natural hair. This is my natural hair. So today I came in honor, of those, my brothers and sisters whom I love, the blessed ones of Jesus Christ. I came here just in honor of you people, because you're special, in honor of you. Okay, so moving right along. Now that we know that the way that is an India, you know what, listen, I have so much respect for Nelson Chamisa. Yo, these are the people that we need. You know those leaders that we need, people who are chilled. Chamisa is the real leader. People in the midst of all this, yeah. The dude is just, as a matter of fact, he has got earphones actually. That's exactly how I operate. If you come here with your nonsense, I'm just going to put on my earphones and I'm just going to go for meditation or start worshiping. And while you'll be screaming, I'll be praising God and having a party with Jesus Christ. And I'm going to come out a warrior. That's wisdom. Mr. President, Mr. Chamisa, relax, chill murikoko. Musatombo pa ED the attention that he needs. ED is looking for a reaction. Do not react. Relax. ED, the president, and other people are looking, or they're in search of your reaction. Do not react. Relax. Chill. Shh. God is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above and beyond what we can ever think or imagine. He's able. Relax. Chilai koko. Nyararai. Musataura. Shh. God is able. He knows. He has a way out. Very soon, people are singing. They think they'll get away with it. No, they won't. Because God won't let them. God will not let them. They think they're going to get away with it. No. Now, let's just move to the business of the day. Because if we get this one here, then we are good to go. So, I woke up today minding my own business, like I always mind my business. And while I went to Twitter, I came across this tweet from Professor Mutambara. Professor Mutambara wrote his book, I think that should be volume 4. It's called In Search of an Elusive Zimbabwean Dream. Volume 3, actually. It's volume 3. Incredible book. for those who had access to it, and I'm still going to buy it. I haven't bought it, but he has been sharing quite a number of things. But I think the goal really was to expose ZANU-PF, that they are definitely a brutal regime that has always been thriving on blood, spilling blood, while they wiggle on their way to the top, plotting each other, lying, abducting, killings, a lot of dirty stuff. But the goal was just to get to the top. Are you surprised? You are still, decades after decades, today we are still talking about the mess that's going on in the country caused by the very same people for decades. But while he was sharing that info, I'm going to read what he tweeted today. And he now divulged some information that if you get this, now you know I've been saying this, and I've been hammering on the fact that the Zimbabwean problem is more of a spiritual problem than it is a physical problem. And if we understand that, it's going to make our life easy. It's a spiritual problem than it is a physical problem. And I know some people may say, no, we are tired of fake prophets. I never talk about fake prophets. I'm talking about the truth. So either you're going to believe it, you're going to take it. It does not change the fact that it is the truth. Zimbabwe's problem is a spiritual problem. Because don't forget that we are 80% spiritual and 20%, this is simply soil. This is mud. Our bodies are mud. When we die, the spirit goes home to be with the Father, and our bodies go straight back to the soil. If that is understood, we are free. Our challenge is our mental problem. And our minds have been hijacked by the enemy. But it was a strategy since the beginning of time, since the time these people were in search of power. That's where the problem began. But I'm going to read what he tweeted this morning. He said, as predicted by ZIPA commanders, Josiah Tongogara's alliance with Robert Mugabe does not last. By the end of the liberation struggle, Tongogara is probably fed up with Mugabe's leadership. From 10th September to 15th of December 1979, the UK government organized a conference at Lancaster House to resolve the matter of Zimbabwe's independence. The parties represented during the conference are the UK government, the Patriotic Front led by Robert Mugabe, which is ZANU-PF, and Joshua Ngomo Zapu, and the Zimbabwe Rhodesian government represented by the Prime Minister Bishop Abel Muzorewa and Ian Smith, Minister without portfolio. The delegation of ZANU's military wing, ZANLA, is led by its Chief of Defense, Josiah Tongogara, while this of ZAP military wing, ZIPRA, is led by Intelligence Supreme Dumiso Davenkwa. General Peter Wolves represents the Rhodesian army. At the Lancaster House conference, Josiah Tongogara really gets under Robert Mugabe's skin. Tongogara proves to be an independent and confident player who takes an embracing Ian Smith every morning. So Tongogara was more on the side of Ian Smith. In the main conference, like what we are seeing now, the people that are always, pretending to be this, but, notwithstanding their skin. So you can be pretend like Songezo. You were seen wearing a yellow t-shirt, Citizen Coalition for Change, but you were not a Citizen Coalition for Change. This was a script that was written before elections. All these lies that Opposition is trying to bring all easy. The thing is, when you think you're too educated, Oppo, with all respect, I respect Oppo, but when you think you're too educated, when you think you have got it all because you've got some access to monies and you think other people are stupid, you can always talk like you're crazy. You don't think before you speak. You think you are talking from a point of privilege. The dude has got money, he's got things. He always show off like he's showing you his bar, he's got so much expensive whiskey. He shows you when he's traveling the world. He tells you how many hours that he's getting. So he's speaking from a point of privilege. But he doesn't think about the poor. He doesn't think about those that are suffering. He is well privileged. So these are the kind of people that you see that I always want to bring legal jargon all the time or books all the time. It's all about, I need to tell you that I'm intelligent. No, sometimes you just need to be human. All you need to do is to be human. When you're human, you're able to understand how people feel. Not everything requires books. Not everything requires vocabulary. Sometimes you just need to be humble and get to understand how much pain people are feeling right now. So I said in the main conference meetings, he does not toe the line and sometimes challenges Mugabe's arguments. For example, when Mugabe says that they need 10 days to get information to their combatants on the ground using runners, he interjects and says, no, that is not correct. We can do it in 4 days. At some point during discussions about the military matters, he bails out and says, you politicians are wasting time. You talk too much. Leave these issues to General Peter Walls and me. We'll sort it out. Agreed. I think if I was in that position, I would understand where Josiah Tongogara was coming from. I mean, politicians are messing up with our destinies. They are simply mess up with our time. It's about greedy. And we are not interested. We want a functioning country. This is why I've always been saying we rather strip all these political banners and fix the country for everybody. And then when we know that our democratic space is now leveled, now we can say, let's talk about how we can resolve our issues. So he says, while Robert Mugabe remains calm, he's apoplectic with rage. Joshua Nkomo fidgets nervously. When there is a breakdown in the talks, and the patriotic friendly liberation movements, ZAP and ZANU, decide to go back to the bush, with Robert Mugabe being the most strident advocate of the continuation of the armed struggle. There's a meeting of ZANU team at Lancaster. In ensuing discussions, Josiah Tongogara, who is leading the ZANU military wing delegation at the conference, says with a menacing look towards Robert Mugabe, it is fine, we are going back to Mozambique. We'll put on our boots, pick up our guns and proceed to the battlefield, including you pointing an aggressive finger at Mugabe. So in this era of 2023, for us as Zimbabweans, we're not going to be holding guns to go to fight. But we have our own fighting strategies, you know, and we have to play it smart in the midst of all this jungle. We have our own fighting strategies. And we are not that stupid as people think we are stupid. Comrade, you're going to do some fighting for a change. There's a deafening silence. You can cut the tension with a knife. All Mugabe can do is sheepishly and nervously continue cheering the meeting. He's completely humiliated. He's beside himself with intense fury. Unfortunately, he cannot do or say anything to Tongogara, the man in total and unquestionable control of the ZANU army. So Mugabe is just chilled. He can't say much to Tongogara because he knows he's in charge of the army. ZANU is nothing without ZANU because it's got the power. So ZANU was nothing without the ZANU forces. Now, hence Tongogara is calling the shots. He knows he's calling the shots. Are you surprised with the people that are calling shots today? I'm not surprised. However, the worst affront to Mugabe by Tongogara at the Lancaster House conference is when he openly suggests to colleagues in both ZANU and ZAPU that Joshua Nkomo should be the first prime minister of Zimbabwe and not Robert Mugabe. I just wish that could have happened. Joshua Nkomo was a father. The man was a leadership material. The man had a heart for people. And I think this is what is lacking in the heart for the people. Even as we speak right now, this is why I said whoever is trying to mess with our movement, that opposition is suggesting is actually on the other side of Sogezo. That person, stuff them. And let me be honest, if the day we are going to know who you are, and I made it very clear today that you are going to be the enemy of the state, which is the Zimbabwean people. You are going to be our enemy because we have invested so much to this movement in pursuit of a better Zimbabwe. And here you are, because of your greedy and selfishness, you have decided to sabotage our old people, the poor who are suffering, the young people who are dragged today as we speak, young people who are selling their bodies, the poor, the orphans who are stuck right now not have food to eat, the unemployment because of your personal greedy. Brothers, sisters, you have got purpose. Stop that. You don't deserve to be in position because you have that entitlement mentality, which we're not going to be tolerating that. Entitlement mentality is satanic, it's diabolical, it's ungodly. You need to understand that this is not about position. This is about having a better Zimbabwe for everybody. We as a Zimbabwean people, we are in pursuit of the peace and the Zimbabwe that we know we deserve. Now, he persists that he doesn't not see Mugabe as a leader, but rather as an administrator under the able and tested leadership of Joshua Nkomo, a man of stature and history. Joshua Nkomo, a tested leadership, a man of stature. Chamisa is a tested leader. This man has been through the most. I'm waiting to hear about that other person who is in the background, who so claim to say they think they are able to lead the people. Who are you? What's your name? Please name a shame so that we can act immediately. This is treacherous, viewed to Mugabe. He's psychopaths and ardent, bootlickers at the conference in London. The ultimate treachery. In my discussions with Enos Mgala, he says, oh, that one, Tongogara, he was in trouble. There's the Zulu boys were watching him closely at Lancaster. That is all I can say. So Mugabe and the people were watching Tongogara because he was really smart man. He's in charge of the ZANU forces. He's a powerful man. He's smart, and he's saying Mugabe is not the right person to lead Zimbabwe. We rather prefer Ngomo. I just wish that could have happened. Duh. I wish that could have happened. Now, Tongogara's total and undiluted antipath towards Mugabe's leadership is one of the reasons he pushes for ZAPU and ZANU to fight the 1980 general elections as one party. The Patriotic Front, knowing very well that Joshua Ngomo would be the natural and senior leader. Oh God, Ngomo, please, you could have done something. We are burning. These people, they are so greedy. They never have enough. They are sick in their hurts. They're sick in their hurts. He argues and posts that we are not fighting for anyone to become prime minister or president of Zimbabwe. We are fighting against a system. Can you hear that? They were fighting against a system of Ian Smith. What is wrong with Joshua Ngomo being our national leader? He's one of us here in Lancaster House as a Patriotic Front and the most senior among us. He candidly and fearlessly articulates his view, this view in meetings of the ZANU delegation and to his ZIPRA and ZAP colleagues at the Lancaster House conference, in particular, Dumiso Davengwa. In the 2018, in an interview on the program Breakfast Club with Zenzele Ndebele. So now, Dumiso Davengwa had a meeting with Zenzele Ndebele, the journalist, quote unquote. Dumiso Davengwa confirms that Tongogara openly argued against Mugabe leading the unified and undergraduate Patriotic Front, which was supposed to contest the 1980 elections as one party. Davengwa says he, Tongogara, had almost openly said it during the Lancaster discussions. Tongogara said, as far as I'm concerned, Joshua Ngomo should be the leader of the Patriotic Front because he is a natural leader who has experience and focus, while Mugabe is good only for administration, and that is the position he should occupy, probably as Secretary General of the Patriotic Front. I agree. The moment he took that position, he was busy buying cars. Earlier in the days, there were cars that Smith was using, those small little cars. You could have just, those, what do you call them? The B2, you know, those B2 nice cars that were so cute. But the moment they took that button, they began to buy Mercedes Benz, giving money to DRC, doing all manner of things, unbelievable, allowing corruption all over the place. He was right. They did not have their heart for the people. They had a mission. They were on a mission. The mission was to terrorize us. And the results are everywhere. Right now we are being abused. You can see the results. If they truly love us, they could put us first. But no, they never had the love for the people. They love to collect. It was all about jealousy. They were jealousy of what they were seeing. By the way, don't forget, Smith had one farm, allegedly, but he had one farm. Whereas they have farms that you can't even mention. Some of them are just sitting there, no one is doing anything there. But they just want to be to know that they've got a farm. It was about collecting. Poverty mentality. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that, Smith was not trusting, could not trust them. Poverty mentality of collecting, but not of giving, and make sure that everyone is happy. It's all about me. I'm collecting. If Bona is sitting with 21 farms allegedly, so which means how many farms are with the son? You had recently, 2 days ago, when I spoke about the son, quote unquote, Chatunga, who received money on the night of the coup, $10 million from Zimbabwe to South Africa, which was actually found by the investigators. That money was, transferred into Chatunga, into Chatunga's account in South Africa, worth 10 million rands. Does that surprise you? Are you surprised when they were busy pouring champagne in Sandton? When they were having diamond watches in Sandton, they were pouring some champagne. You remember that time when they had women all over the place? Where there's money, women are everywhere. You know what I mean? Don't forget. Yeah. And you forgot that woman that was beaten by the mom with the cable, electricity cable. And that woman, It hurts me the most. She was given an open check by Mugabe's family. Ma'am, write how much you want from us after we beat you with the cable. Afroforum, when they said, no, we want to arrest you. The woman was given an open check to cry out loud, signed by Grace Mugabe. How much do you want? I could have put even $10 million. Yo, that girl was going to get it. These people have got money. Remember, Eddie Cross confirmed that Grace Mugabe's got billions. She's a billionaire. She's got billions out there in dollars. And if we're waiting for the right time and forum, because this money is going to come back in the right time and forum. This was Eddie Cross confirmed when he was having a meeting and Friday drinks with Babanyezi Tinashe. And so, they're just collecting. And we're just talking about one person or two. We haven't talked about the army generals, police or leaders, politicians, all these young guys that are just bambauka around the president who are busy pushing. We haven't talked about that. Do you remember Tagwire mentioned that he's paying his family member? He's got 200 family members that he pays every month, that he supports. Either they don't work or they're being supported every month. Are you surprised whenever you hear that their head is always, wherever there's financial illicit flows, their head is there? It's not me. The resource is all on social media. I'm saying, are you surprised? I'm not surprised. Now, unfortunately, he said them out during informal discussions with other people at Lancaster, but he was direct enough. He said to them, Tongogara was very clear. He went on to state that, I'm not saying this to please you. This is how I look at the two men. And as per my observation, it would be really disastrous for Mugabe to be the leader of Patriotic Front and leader of that country. This is how I feel about it. Mr. Tongogara, shout out to you in your graves. May your soul rest in eternal peace. I'm not surprised you were a good man. And you had an eye of truth. You saw that Mugabe was not the right leader. He proved to us as Zimbabweans that he wasn't. With all respect, he proved. You could not let go of power. You could have let go earlier in the 2000s and give other people a chance, but he kept on holding on to it and the legacy, gone. And it's a fact. We love him. We loved him as a brother, as a father, as an uncle. But we can never separate him from the fact that we are suffering because we're not able to let go of power on time. The succession was completely failed. And also, Sevia Kasukere confirmed on SABC that was one of the things that we failed. We failed to let go of power on time, especially on Mugabe. I'm not convinced enough. Why is my mind racing? I'm not convinced, but he said it. Tongogara was like, no, Mugabe is not the right person to lead the country. You can see where we are today. Tongogara was right. He was a good man. No wonder why he was eliminated, but I'm going there. I'm going there. And that's when you will know why we are having this talk today. Now, there we are. This is what Dumiso Damengwa has to say in June 2018 about the fallout between Mugabe and Tongogara. So this is what made Mugabe and Tongogara, someone was after power, and the other person was like, you are not a good leader. You don't have what it takes to lead the people. I would prefer, and this is what I'm saying, I respected Tongogara because he did not say I. He said, I can see that, Joshua Ngomo will be the better leader for the country than Mugabe. He did not say me. That's when if I come and say me, I think I'm the better person, I'm going to say, who? No. Some people should be in a position to say, I think you are the best person to lead in this area. But I cannot, some people should say, I think you're good at what you're doing. So he was a good man. Tongogara was an incredible man. You can see it's showing here. Furthermore, Tongogara had a premonition which turned out to be prophetic. That after independence, the disruptively ambitious politicians from both ZAP and ZANU would cause the ZANU and ZIMBABWE guerrillas to fight each other if there was no solid foundation of unity between the two parties during those seminal and crucial elections of 1980. These people were just crazy people. Crazy, and they didn't have no qualities for leadership at all. So Tongogara was right. He had seen it. I still say Chamisa will be the good leader for Zimbabwe. I don't care what people are saying. If Chamisa leads Zimbabwe today, I can tell you facts. you see how the Zimbabwe will change. He's a leader. You know, leaders, they don't talk much, and leaders know their position. I don't have to prove to anyone that I know what I'm doing or I know where I belong. Even if you come and fight me, I'm just gonna move, because I know if I move with my gift. You know what I mean? Ask Monzora. Monzora took everything. Now he's looking like a zombie. He has nothing. He's looking like a zombie. But he took all the buildings, took all the money, but he's too empty, because he's not the chosen one. He does not have the gift to lead. That should be understood in Zimbabwe. This is why I keep on saying, even the people on ZANU-PF today, those old men who are forcing themselves there, they don't look like people with all the positions that they have, because they are not chosen. God does not want them there. So the anointing does not follow them. They are miserable. Even in the midst of moving around, just being if they were leaders, if they were called to be leaders in this era, they could be rhyming with the people. Our energies could be linked. We cannot align, because they are not supposed to be there. God does not want them there. But they keep forcing themselves there. They can do whatever they want to do, but the fact remains, we are not. We can't align. I don't feel nothing. Like if I can just pass, I don't even like them. I don't feel nothing. They don't have what it takes to be leaders. That's why they keep on making us suffer, because they don't have leadership material. They are not leadership material. They don't have the qualities of leaders, because leaders prefer people. That's leadership. People who are leaders always prefer the next person. I'm a person that if you visit me, I'll make sure if I cook, I must sure everyone else has eaten before me. And most of the times, I remember this when I was young, in my early when I was a teenager. One day, we are sitting, and my mama had cooked and then dish food. And we had someone who visited us, but there was nobody. And I said to them, give them my plate. And they were shocked. I said, no, give them mine. To my surprise, I just got full. I did not eat, but I felt so satisfied, because I was like, at least someone is eating the food. I had that satisfaction in my heart. I'm like, fair play, let them eat. Leaders prefer others to eat first. But these ones are eating until they don't care, because they're not leaders. As a Machiavellian player, Levo Tongogara's assessment was that this supremacy within the two armies, ZIPRA and ZANU, would be unchallenged, as the most senior ZIPRA commanders, Dumiso Davengo and Lookout Masuku, were prepared to work under him. While Tongogara is clearly fed up with Mugabe's leadership, and in his mind, the joint participation of ZAPU and ZANU in the elections would effectively throw Mugabe under the bus. That is his calculation, a rather naive one indeed. Within ZANU, there are no takers or Tongogara's idea of a united front with ZAPU in the upcoming inaugural 1980 independence elections. Not a single ZANU leader support him. Indeed, Robert Mugabe and Edgar Tekere, Enos Ngala, Maurice Nyagumbo, Simon Muzenda, Edison Lobo, and the rest of the top ZANU officials do not share Tongogara's vision. Of course, they were after position. Are you surprised? There's quite a number of people in ZANU-PF today who are just following. They have no clue. They're just nothing but a mess. It's about positions and money. It's about the thing getting a farm, you know. Ukaita farm, marifuwa ndokuzwa rich. Ukanotora mari ukaendesa ku Dubai. Ukanzo unesitara kuri ku Dubai. They think it's success. They don't know. Success is in the heart. It's in the heart. It's not outside appearance. It's in the heart. It's fulfillment. But success is simply peace. They can't sleep. They always think about where they've hidden the money. They're forcing people, they can kill because Vane Maria Kawanda, iri somewhere. Miami. Papasinga gare, but good driver mota muma koronga muma but good driver mota muma potholes. Asvaka isa mariku Dubai. Manorku Dubai mariku enjoy your life. Mangwana mashafa, bashi driver ma. It's a curse, they're cursed. It's like Duh! That's not success. You are cast. You are cast. Unoshanda Maria Murgutura Monesa ku Dubai or Moendesa ku imagine from South Africa no vanema roads argu fire vana fikle mbalula. They can't do that to their own people. And in Muri business abuse your own people, your own blood, your own people. You know, in Zimbabwe we are one animals that hamani hama. Right now, oh, oh, yeah, my mom, very shiri. You oh, Shumba, oh, yeah, because my uncle is Shumba. We are family, we are one. You are abusing your own brother and your own sister because what I'm going to kariku na kariku Europe. Posngagare. Duh. And Europeans are busy right now gallivanting and be drinking champagne, a husband and a wife. You are miserable. Una China, uri mu Zimbabwe, uchiucha, uri mu Zimbabwe, una China, wa driver mroads zinema komba. Damn, stupid. That's the problem. Kusafunga, kushanisa toka, amufunge. Kutizamunoita is stupid. Stupid. Money is to serve you, not you serving the money. And vamwe venyu kana kuti amuna mapepa zvinhu zvinakumira zvakanaka muchafa mari yobvaiswa kustate nekuti mbavha hadzina brain ka mbavha hadzina brain because apa muri kusvika kuti munobatwa handiti mosvika kuti muchabatwa saka muri kuenda zvekungowanda mwana muminute munongomuka makafa mari zazongonzi oh imba ndianiko hatisi kuziva ndiani akafira apa mari yabva inzi boom back to the state of that country vanhu voenjoya zvavo nekuti makapusa hamufunge kuti right now mari dzamunoba kuti fix my roads more drivers zvakanaka vana venyu vachifamba hama dzinyu dzichifara munhu wese achifara maroads achifunction hamufunge. It's the lack of understanding. Munofungidzira kuti ndo success. It's not success, it's a curse. Moving. Furthermore, they've done their tribal calculations and ethnic arithmetic that show them that given the ethnic composition of Zimbabwe, a predominantly Shona ZANU would outperform a predominantly Ndebele ZAPU. So they were pushing for a Shona person to be led. It is prudent to say that in 1979, the two parties are national in character. However, the ZANU stalwarts would seek to brand the two liberation movements in ethnic terms of Machiavellian electoral purposes. Consequently, assured of electoral victory, the ZANU leaders argue that the leadership question must be determined through the 1980 general elections. ZANU and ZAPU must fight it electorally. Because they know they can always rig like they do. Yeah, they always rig. The overall leader of nationalist movement cannot be determined before the inaugural preview site. We will work with ZAP after the poll when it is clear who is the top dog. This is the ZANU thinking championed by Robert Mugabe and never explained to Joshua Ngoma and ZAP. At the ZANU meeting at the Lancaster House conference, Tongogara makes an emotional plea for ZAP and ZANU to fight the general elections as one entity. He is completely outvoted by his now increasingly irritated ZANU colleagues. He repeats that effort back in Maputo to no avail. The die is cast. From the last, this is where I'm going to start. This is where the real deal is. From the last Maputo meeting, he embarks on his last journey, where he dies in an alleged vehicle accident on the 26th of December 1979, quote and quote. Just quote right there, because we are going somewhere. Dopakafira Tongogara. Alleged a vehicle accident. Are you surprised? We've had a lot of them. Mota ino darika pasanga na shunongo neto. In the army and the politics in Zimbabwe, Miles Tende alludes the profound suspicion that followed Tongogara's death, given the acrimonious differences at Lancaster. After the tension and disagreement between Tongogara and Mugabe at Lancaster House over whether to agree on settlement, British officials suspected that the former had been eliminated by the latter. Of course, I'm not surprised. Tongogara has also been in favor of ZANU and ZAPU forming a party in the 1980 election, a suggestion Mugabe found disagreeable. Indeed, the British government, Rhodesian leadership, and ZAPU and ZIPRA, Kadayas all smell and red. They regard Tongogara's death with profound suspicion. Agreed. Murder most foul. When he received the news of Tongogara's death, Joshua Ngomo says, what? There goes my unity with ZANU. Tongogara has been eliminated by the anti-unit elements in ZANU. UK diplomat Robin Renwick is adamant. It was an internal hit, an inside job. They knew it was a hit because the dude was against Mugabe being the president. You preferred Ngomo, and that's why he was eliminated. Tongogara was the only effective rival to Mugabe at Lancaster House. It was just too convenient that he died when he did. When I put all these stories and perceptions about Tongogara, his death, and the suspicions held by various people to Robert Mugabe, he just deviously chuckled and say, well, Tongogara did many things to undermine my leadership. Can you hear? Mugabe said it, that, well, Tongogara did many things to undermine my leadership. He was also feared because he was cheeky. You do not want that, right? He was feared because he was cheeky. Tongogara was, you know, that is all Mugabe says, but he insists that Tongogara's death was genuinely due to an accident. This position is also emphasized by Edgar Tekere, now an unparalleled and acerbic opponent of Robert Mugabe, much to the delight of a pleasantly surprised Mugabe. A principled Edgar Tekere has decided not to laugh cheap shots at the sworn enemy. Mugabe marvels at his good fortune. Well, the truth of Tongogara's death remains an open question. Some have argued that maybe Tekere was not part of the inner circle involved, which might have included Robert Mugabe himself, Solomon Mujuru, Emmerson Mnangagwa, and what Nkala calls the ZANU Mafia. The jury is still out. In fact, in his old age, after being deposed in the coup d'etat, that's now Mugabe now. Let's start right here. After his deposed in the coup d'etat in November 2017, Mugabe makes fascinating revelations in a bizarre narration during a press conference on 29th July 2018, the eve of the 2018 general election. So Mugabe now said his objective to impugn or disparage Emmerson Mnangagwa's character. Mugabe talks about how Emmerson takes him to visit a bogus, get that, to visit a bogus spirit medium who was also a sister to his mother, quote, I quote. So Mr. Mnangagwa has a sister to his mom, which is the aunt, my guru over, my guru or my name, right? No, my guru, the sister to his mother, visibly irate and disheveled, Mugabe said. I was always curious and wanted to know the fate of the great Shaminuka, the prophet. I wondered what happened. Emmerson says to him, oh yes, I know, you're worried about that. Well, I have a person who knows what happened. So now, this is Emmerson Mnangagwa replied to Mugabe as Mugabe was asking what happened. He says, no, but I know a person. I know someone. So then Emmerson says, you come, and I went with him to his home. And he says, I'm going to take you to the house of the spirit medium. I'll take you there. It's allegedly, President Emmerson Mnangagwa is taking Mr. Mugabe. This is Mugabe saying it on the eve of elections in 2018. Mugabe said this. So I quote, there is this lady, my aunt, a sister to my mother. She's possessed with a powerful spirit, and she'll be able to tell you everything. So this auntie of Mnangagwa is possessed by a powerful spirit. I'll take you there. So can she, Emmerson says, yes, she's already waiting for you. Huh? Mugabe is asking, can she tell me? He said, oh yeah, of course. She's already waiting for you. So you are telling me about your aunt, whom you're saying is possessed by a spiritual medium. And the moment I'm asking, you're saying to me, but she's already waiting for me. Are you surprised why there's a lot of fake prophets roaming around the state house? Does that surprise you? Are you surprised about the cows that you hear? Does that surprise you? I'm not surprised. Now, I removed my shoes and went up. No, they said, so the woman living up in some elevated, ramshackle hut, and then Emmerson says, oh, but you have to remove your shoes. So Mugabe and President Emmerson Mnangagwa, they are together there. So now Mugabe is removing the shoes. They are on their way to meet the bogus spirit medium. And I removed my shoes and went up squaring shaky ladder into the dirty heart. Do you know the problem is that there are some of the things that we hear and we don't take them serious. But actually we need to take them very serious. And then we are focusing on fighting among each other because of politics. These are the things that we should take very serious. Apparently, very, very serious. So the woman started telling me how strong she was, and that she had the spirit of Mbiyanehanda, and that she was the one who eliminated Tongogara. Get that? Oh. Dime Guruva President Emerson Mnangagwa. But she says she eliminated Tongogara. Do wrote she waka uraya Tongogara. My guru for quote unquote for President Emerson Mnangagwa as per the allegation. As per what's in the book for that was written by Mutambara, Arthur Mutambara. Oh, but nothing about Chaminuka, nothing at all. And he, Mnangagwa, wanted me to see that he had his hand of his, a spirit medium who was powerful. So all this woman wanted was to meet me and convince me that she was a spirit medium who we should accept and work with. So all that was a lie. You see, what Emerson has told me about this woman, he's a liar, that one. So this is Mugabe accusing President Emerson Mnangagwa that he lies. Although this odd and curious narration is conducted in public at a press conference on the 29th of July 2018 and is currently online on the video sharing channel, YouTube, our unsophisticated media practitioners and critical analysts and thoughtless historians do not pursue and investigate meanings. Its meaning. Can you get that? Mutambara is saying, I don't know why the journalists did not pursue the story and even get to understand its meaning. But this is where spirituality comes through. Not the don't get confused about fake prophets. There's a difference between fake prophets and spirituality. And there's a difference between Christians in terms of the religion and spirituality, because spirituality is being in a relationship with the Father. Yahweh, Daddy, Abba Father. God, Almighty, Jehovah, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the I am that I am, the beginning and the end. The creator and the one that when he says it's over. That's being a spiritual person. Being a religious is going to church, just roaming around, following and be gossiping, but you have no clue about a relationship. So the Christianity, which is in terms of a spiritual level, you should have a relationship with the Father, but not a religion. No, that's not being spiritual. Being spiritual is, who am I? I take full responsibility of my relationship with the Father. Not walking around and be accusing everyone that they are not good people, or they are dressed like a shorty, hey, why in a trouser? You know, I know, because I know. I'm not a church police. I've come across church police. Yeah, I've sit before the church board 3 times. Accused of things that I didn't even know because I used to wear palazzo. You know, that's... Like I've been in church all my life, y'all. I've been in church all my life. Yeah. For those that used to go to church with me, they know. And I had to change the branch because I was always being judged for coming in wearing a palazzo. Or like, you don't call them those, you don't call them the skinny jeans and what, you know, they didn't like it in the church. It was being called a sin. But anyway, I'm not worried about that. But I'm just telling you, that's not. So he says we could have pursued this. No wonder why every time Nelson Chamisa is speaking scriptures, people are bashing him. Oh, he must come and talk to us. Zimbabwe does not need what you guys are busy talking. You have tried these fights and what happened? You people are being killed. These people don't even give a damn because they've sold their soul. So killing is nothing to them. People have sold their souls. Look the way they treat you, the way they talk. Listen to what Mchangwa talks to people because they have no conscience. In fact, no media house carries the story while no analysis of Mugabe's old age teacher's utterances is ever conducted. So, Mutambara told you see, no one pursued, but I'm trying to teach so you understand. For those that does not hear it from me, I'm telling you. That's why I've always been saying Zimbabwe's problem is spiritual more than it is a physical battle. It's a spiritual problem. Now, firstly, our two great leaders were going to see a traditional healer. Can you hear that? It's Mutambara who said, based on the traditional healer's commands. So whatever a traditional healer says is what they were doing. To address matters of the state and national governance. Ya President Mnangagwa, my group spirit medium, directives of how they should. This is in the book of Mutambara. It's not my writing. He posted today on Twitter. So then he says, secondly, they are proudly told that Josiah Tongogara was taken care of, dispensed with, to pave the way of Robert Mugabe. And they kept it as their dirty little secret for 38 years. They knew that Josiah Tongogara was killed to pave way for Mugabe to be the president. And they never told anyone for 38 years until on the eve of the 2018, where Robert Mugabe uttered those facts. Now, why did Emerson's aunt boastfully talk about the death of Tongogara? What gave you the confidence to say this to Mugabe and Emerson? Was it because the two were grateful beneficiaries of Tongogara's demise? What does Emerson know about the death of Tongogara, given that his aunt claims to be the author of and authority on the subject? Especially when he says, I understand the questions that are being posed by Mutambara. I would ask the same questions because this is you have taken me to them and said she's a spiritual medium. It means that she has always have an upper hand in terms of how you're living your life. She's giving directives. Are you shocked? I'm not surprised with what's going on in that country, what has been going on and what is still going on today. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all. Why did Emerson, so this is Mutambara, why did Emerson organize a scandalous meeting, and why was he comfortable with the woman's treacherous message? What other dubious and unbecoming meetings, secrets, and nefarious activities have the two engaged in from 1977 to 2017 to the detriment of the country's history, legacy, and prosperity? I guess all we have for now are questions. This is an so this is definitely a piece that he extracted from his book, Mutambara. Now the question that I'm going to have for you, where to from here? Do you think what's going on in Zimbabwe right now, you have been seeing, and you also see that there's another thing, there's a door in town that is standing there. You ask your questions. Why is it people are not doing anything about our problems? I heard ANC today, they're talking about Israel and Palestine. Can you see? They are so inclined to Israel and Palestine. But Zimbabwe is just closer to them. They can see all our ills. They don't have the capacity to do anything. All the presidents that you see around, people just say, we don't want to get involved. And now you begin to ask your questions. Why? The spiritual world is powerful. It's one of the most powerful world that if you don't understand, you're going to be messed up. Your future can be ruined. You can ask your question, but maybe something must be wrong. What is going on? We must all sit down and say something is wrong in the nation. We take it like a family. I'm a firm believer that if we sit around the table and we've got a challenge and we're trying to find a solution and say, why are we in this position? Surely, and if we don't find it from a physical point, we must know that there's an intruder. And I tweeted today and I said, in Zimbabwe, there's an intruder. Unfortunately, some people are saying, no, we don't care about the church. This is not about the church. These are facts. Whether you're going to take it or believe or you don't believe or you're going to stand or doing anything, the fact remains there is an intruder in the country. And until that is resolved, we are going to have problems after problem after problem. Don't forget, the devil is the god of this world. It's very clear. He was chased out of heaven because of his nonsense. He is the god of this world. And I've always said to my family, whoever wants to know where the devil's headquarters is, please can I show you where he is? The Teapot country. I've never seen in my lifetime a country that there's always problems after problem. And we seems like with all, we can say also we're educated. No. There are things that does not need education. There are battles that require understanding. There are battles that require education. So you need to understand the type of battle you're fighting so you can have the right remedies. The fact remains, the Zimbabwean problem is a spiritual problem. That's why you see that these people are terrorizers because they are commands from a certain source. As a matter of fact, most of them don't even know what to do with what's going on right now. Because remember, there are two kingdoms that operate in this world. The kingdom of the devil and the kingdom of God. And you're all asking questions. How come? Today we are talking about Manjus. We talk about, there's a lot of Manjus. We talk about young kids that are being drugged. Do you know that a drug is on its own a satanic covenant that comes after our children's destiny? It's a covenant on its own. We see a lot of wrong. You see false prophets all over the place. We have seen even some of the churches who say they are captured. They're not captured. They've always been cults. They are working hand in hand because that's how the territory has to be taken over. Is if you can influence the heads of state, if you can capture people's minds, you're in control. And the people's minds are captured. Everyone is so tired. Yes, so that's how the kingdom of the devil works. It's for you to get tired. Because you're like, we want solution. Where to? This is why I'm saying we need to be honest with one another. Unless we confront that devil from hell, we are always going to be complaining. There's a scripture I love in the Bible. The story of Esther. Esther was a young girl from a very, 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 very low privileged family, raised by an uncle. But there were issues in Sushan, a lot of problems. The Jews were almost being killed. So this issue of killing you must not be surprised. They're almost being killed. And the young girl got access to the king and got married to the king. While she got married to the king, what was fascinating there is that she was quick to tell the king, tell the people that, no, let's fast and pray. We're going to fast as a people in general, 3 days of honest fast and praying. But she was young. There were people in there who were mature and old, who had positions, who were educated, like Zimbabwe is. But a young girl was sent to say, let's fast and pray for the nation collectively. Pastor, I cannot, I'm not going to believe. It's not about belief. You want a solution for us to move forward. Sometimes it takes humility to say, I'm going to just go to join. If it can make us have a peace in the country, let's join hands. If you can be free. If you don't want, you're going to see the demise. It's going to be worse than what you see. Look, it's not stopping. It's going on and on and on, over and over. It's not stopping. The choice is yours. Whether you're going to join forces and say, I'm going to fast. If they can say 3 or a week, I'm going to go with the people. Let's pray for this country. Not to say, no, me, I drink my alcohol. You're going to put the alcohol aside and fast with the people. If you want peace in the country, we're going to have to do what we have to do to free ourselves. Because there must be a way out. But when they fasted 3 days, she went before the king. And the people knew that she was going to be killed. But she said, if I die, I die. She was a young lady before the king. And you know what? The Jews were freed. And the people were freed. It was just a simple instruction. We are too educated to actually understand simple principles. Too educated. And this is why we are busy talking our legal jargon. Oh, wada. We also sometimes talking on typing. Even typing the whole essay. Oh, God. Mutambara is telling you right in your face, hey. Why you did not investigate further? Because the enemy will make sure that you don't. Where your freedom lies is exactly where these things are coming from. We can't have a nation that as a country, we cannot. That people are being murdered and it's like it's normal. People are being imprisoned. They've never done nothing wrong and it's normalized. Where our children are being killed with drug addiction and it is normal. We have seen, you call it unemployment. No, remove those English jargon. It's a fact. Is the enemy who has found home in the country. He's found home. And while you're busy talking your legal your jargon and your vocabulary, sometimes you don't need to talk vocabulary. You're going to have to be head on until we get the freedom that we need. One day you understand. It's a spiritual problem. It is a spiritual problem. And I agree with what Mutambara is saying. That's why Chamisa is talking scriptures. Some people, you want to go and fight. No, 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 no. It's not every battle that you carry the arms. It's not every battle you carry the arms. It's not every battle that you carry the arms. Some battles, all you need is understanding. And you can be free. He talks scriptures for a reason. Because he understands that the problem that we have in Zimbabwe is not a physical problem. It's a spiritual problem. While that is resolved, you see that everything will fall into place. And I think some people have to die for us to be free. Because they have a covenant with the enemy. They have a covenant with the devil. Unfortunately, they also don't know what to do to come out of it, but it's a fact. Why people aren't pursuing this question, the question that Mutambara is asking, why people are not pursuing what Robert Mugabe said regarding this covenant here. This covenant. This covenant. They've heard for years with the devil. Why are we not pursuing it? No wonder why you're feeling weak. Sometimes you get tired. People are tired. People are drained. Yes, that's how the enemy works. You make sure you're drained to a point where you don't know what else to do. But fear not. Solution is on the way. We are very close to the finishing line. We're unresting now. We're unresting until we get the freedom that we need. We know what's more important is we have exposed the devil. He knows we have exposed. It's exposed. The moment something is exposed, now it's easier to confront. Because you know what's going on. So now we know we're going to have to go head on with the devil. We have the information right in front. For me, I didn't know. When I read this, I was like, oh, damn, now I understand. I've always known that our problems are beyond physical. That's why you ask, Ramaphosa can help, because they don't have the capacity. You have to be a spiritual person to really understand and then take decisive measures to resolve the problem. You have to be spiritually inclined to know that, oh, this is where the problem is and how can we resolve it? What steps can we take to have the solution? But it's going to require few people. That's why I'm always going to be behind Nelson Chamisa. Come hell, come thunder. I know exactly what he's fighting. You cannot, I told you can't fight that regime without God. There's no way. Without divine help, without divine backup, I don't care what you're telling me. You can't fight them. There is no way any normal person would hold a gun and kill your brother in a door ball. You can't do that. But it's being done and it's normalized. And you say, oh, it's politics. It's not politics. Is the devil a guy, hiding behind politics? The Bible is very clear. He disguises himself as an angel of light. So whenever you call something a name, he uses that. He's masquerading himself. Whenever there's comfort, he's masquerading himself. Today, there are so many fake prophets. He's masquerading himself as prophets. And you think, no, it's the devil at work. And you start seeing all evil happening in the space. Zimbabwe has never been a drug problem. It has never had a problem with drugs. We didn't know what drugs were all about. And we're still asking questions now. Why? That's the goal. To steal, to kill, and to destroy. The resume is very clear. It's written in black and white. To steal, to kill, and to destroy. That's all I have for you tonight. So when you're in your house, pray for yourself. Pray for the country. Pray that we have a solution soon. That we need divine intervention. Is when God sends us help that we need. I don't care who's going to say, no, I don't care about God. No. Every move you make, they make the move. Look now, there was this flawed election. They put themselves in positions. After that, they are terrorizing you left, right, and center. You're just running around like headless chicken. And you think that's politics. It's not. It's not. It's the devil who is alive and well. And he's very comfortable. That's what he does. But fear not. God is with you. God is with you. We have an intruder. He's alive and well. But it's exposed. And trust me, we're going to sleep on mountain. We're going to sleep on top of the mountains to bring down the heavens. Yes, to go. This covenant has to be cut by all means. It's not negotiable. We're not going to come. I didn't come here because of politics here. No. I'm not here because I'm a politician. I'm not a politician. And I don't even want to be one. Fear not. God is with you. Yeah, I love you so much. And I want you to get to sleep tight. But pray for yourself. Pray for the country. Pray for everybody. Pray for Nelson Chamisa. Pray for everyone in Zimbabwe. Pray even for our brothers who are shackled. Those that are in this covenant are shackled. They don't know how to come out. They don't know how to come out. They don't know how to divorce this devil. But we have to pray for them and help them that God is going to send us divine help to free our people and to free us so we can have the Zimbabwe that we all want, a Zimbabwe of peace. I don't care how you're going to say. I don't care what you think about it. It's a fact. It's the truth. But good news is the devil is exposed. And now we know the truth. And we know where it's coming from. And we know how we're going to pray. May God bless you and may God bless Zimbabwe. Sleep tight. Pray for each other. And I love you all. See you soon. I'm coming back. Bless you all. Happy weekend, everybody. Yeah.